My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. By the way, friends, I'm just trying to save a little money. My job is not just to entertain, but to put us all in context, to educate. So call me at 1-800-743-CNBC. Tweet me at Jim Cramer. The fad stocks, they need to go down before non-fad stocks can triumph. That's what's happening. It's just a fact of life in this business. After last week's meltdown in all things faddish, it's a rare positive to see a negativity that this thing is running its course. And that's what I'm thinking when the Dow inched up 33 points, S&P shed 0.5%, but the Nasdaq tumbled 1.21%, turning negative for the year. Now, I want to make clear, by the way, that the decline came at the end of the day. I don't know what caused it, but it was pronounced. It was nasty. Now, nobody wants anybody to lose money, including me. But there's a thing called froth, and we got to talk about it, as froth is the enemy of prudence. Smart investing requires a degree of prudence, something that's highly incompatible with froth. We've had froth galore and not a lot of prudence running this hideous market that we got last Thursday and Friday and the end of the day. Now, the froth has fallen flat. I mean, if we were ordering a cappuccino at Starbucks after waiting for 4 minutes, not bad, we'd return it. No froth. The answer, it's been tamped down by people who want something else with a little more staying power. That's why the drug stocks have been going up. But let's speak to the frothiest of froth. Quantum computing. Yeah, it is pretty funny when you think about it. We know that before Microsoft started talking about quantum computing and being all jazzed and bulled up about it, there was this fringe quality to the entire theme. Then Microsoft went all in about quantum computing based on an all-new source of matter. Made it sound like quantum's around the corner. Nothing could be more authoritative than Microsoft telling a hot story about quantum. Until Friday evening, when we saw a piece in the Wall Street Journal entitled, quote, "Physicists question Microsoft's quantum claim," end quote. Whoa, scary. It was a total takedown of Microsoft's quantum computing pitch. It was a vicious beating. Here's the snippet. Quote, "This is where you cross over from the realm of science to advertising," end quote, said Jay Sal, a theoretical condensed matter physicist at the University of Maryland. This professor with a terrific title, I mean, come on, theoretical condensed matter. I mean, like, I know condensed milk. I don't know condensed matter. Talked about a guy who knows his stuff. He even worked for Microsoft on some odd jobs, maybe. Gotta like an expert who's willing to cross a pretty darn big employer with some truth that sent down all the quantum computing stocks. Rigor one, froth nothing. Can we please stick a knife in quantum already? Or how about the walloping of the nuclear power utilities like Vistra and Constellation Energy? These stocks are on a roller coaster, and right now they're on the downside. They trade like they weren't even wearing their seatbelts when you were going down, which is what, you know what happens? You fly up, and then you land on your head. Microsoft had a hand in the froth here, too, except this time at least it was negative. See, these momentum utility stocks, all data center plays, won't be as important if Microsoft's actually cutting capital expenditures on data centers, which is also what we heard on Friday. Why the heck do we need to bid up the stocks of tangential utilities when maybe we don't even need to worry about the regular utilities? Maybe they got enough power. Of course, we don't need Constellation or Vistra. We really don't need if we don't want them, you know, we'll tell you what we really don't need. We don't need the nuclear fission through Oklo. A total fan favorite that's one of the most speculative stocks out there, hence why it's been such a... It's frightening when you own a stock because of quantum computing prospects, and then those hopes are dashed by an authoritative expert. It's terrifying when you own a nuclear power derivative, and a big nuclear believer says it might not need that much energy. Either that, or it isn't going to order a lot of chips from Nvidia, which reports Wednesday. I'm trying to prep you. Of course, this whole alleged slowdown in the data center occurs right in front of Nvidia's earnings. Here's a terrific company with a stock that's just absolutely wilted. I mean, unbelievable. Now, has Nvidia been a part of the froth? Let's just say that it won't be if it keeps delivering the way it used to, but it will be if it gets up the ghost. This one's starting to feel like the Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, listen, 3 weeks ago we thought they were great, going into the big game. We know that the Chiefs weren't fugazis. They've won a lot of games. It's just that maybe they're up against such a staggeringly powerful team of players like the Eagles that it doesn't even matter what they do or say. Less frothy than usual, but still frothy nonetheless. That's how Nvidia feels to me, like the Chiefs. I still say own it, don't trade it, but don't have any expectations of this particular quarter. Oh, then there's Palantir. This stock is more or less managed by Alex Karp, the CEO. He makes sure there's excitement and pizzazz around what the company does. He'd walk a mile for a camera, this guy. He tells you to ignore the slowdown in Europe or blame it on the pathetic continent. He's on the most high-level book tour in history. I hope he's like Elon Musk and do business while he's on the road. I'm sure if I ask him, he'll say he's working harder in the time between book interviews and that anyone who's worried about him is therefore a big fat idiot. But Palantir stock is getting clobbered because it has had a parabolic move. And right now, this data analytics company needs a huge, noisy client win. Karp needs fellow promoter Elon Musk to hire Palantir to reform the Pentagon. This stock rallied to 125 at its highs last week. It's now at 90 and change. Is this an all the king's horses stock? No, not at all. It's just that something needs to happen good at Palantir, some big contracts, some big win, not just a book tour. Anything that can reset the narrative, because the potty-mouth CEO is saying that he's all about lethality and ontology. Hey, I'm the lethality king. I know that many young people are pro-froth. They bid up these momentum stocks in the morning, gunning them to get them noticed. When you see them running at, say, 7:30, 8 a.m., you look them up, and they always sound so great. You know what? You can literally make them up, so let's do that. Can you imagine, like, there's, how about this one? I'll create this one. EVA, that's an electric engine company that's designed to coordinate with Nvidia's Blackwell platform to be able to navigate the streets of San Francisco and Los Angeles. Oh, there's a Space Y, which launches satellites in order to send fire, hospital, and cop shows to you if you cut the cord. And then there's Palantir, a company that makes artificially intelligent Pilates that can find waste in the Pentagon once the Pilates are brought into the Pentagon by curly-haired, foul-mouthed Palantos people. And finally, there's my favorite, QuantDog, which is a company that has found a way to combine fusion with fission to create brand new state of matter while combating electric fiction. If you are looking up the symbols of any of these, then I think you may be what I think Palantir calls people that don't know what they're doing. Now, I know there are real people who work at Rigetti or D-Wave or Quantum Corp. They go to work. They talk about qubits and developing quantum materials that have never been ever seen before. I'm sure that if you hire Palantir, it's like hiring the Spartans, and your company's opponents are going to die in hell. Very compelling stuff. But it doesn't tell you much about the earnings power, which is what I care about. Now, froth is hard to kill. If you talk about quantum, you're actually trying to hurt Nvidia, and who doesn't want to try that these days? But the fact is, until the froth is slain, it hasn't been, as people are still abusing these. Until it's slain, and its ingredients, including everything that's still bathing in the glow of the now curtailed data center business, we can't find terra firma. So here's the bottom line. Once these frothy momentum stocks come in enough, then we will finally be in a much more straightforward world. A world where what tends to rally is not the sizzle, but the steak. Barry in Florida. Barry.
Hey, Jim. Barry here. First of all, let me say I spend more time with you than most other people, an hour in the morning, then 10 minutes, an hour later, 10 minutes with you. And
let's keep that between us. Barry, let's keep that between us. We will not put that over the... Regina, can we cut that out? Because Barry and I are spending too much time together. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, edit that one. Yeah, so I have a question. Many of us are confused about a lot of stocks. FedEx is the one I'd like to ask you about this evening.
Okay, so FedEx... there were a lot of rumors that Amazon's going to do more in the kind of the trucking business that FedEx does. Now, let me just tell you something. FedEx doesn't do anything with Amazon, all right? FedEx stock is down very big. It's at 253. I'm calling it an opportunity. I think Raj Subramanian is doing a terrific job. And I think that, you know, what is the downside here? I mean, at the absolute low, it was at 239. It's at 253. Why not Barry, listen to me. I'm going to go in for a beer with Barry after, okay? Not a Modelo. I've enough with that. I think that this is where you start a position. Right now, maybe you wait for the alleged shortfall in Nvidia. I mean, is there any... Like, you walk outside right now, it's like, hey, Jim, how about that shortfall in Nvidia? I said, it hasn't even happened yet. Okay, anyway. Froth is hard to kill, but until we do, the rally is going to be all sizzle and no steak. Homemade money 30. Celsius got a big boost on earnings and its billion-dollar acquisition announcement. I've got the CEO to see if the stock can stay energized for the long term. Then I'm digging into some of the last week's biggest pullbacks and telling you what I'm watching fresh off the latest sell-off. And later, can AGCO plow ahead after this month's NICS report? I'm getting a closer look with its top brass, so stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.